Hey, what's up? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Sydney. I'm a Facebook ad expert at Vertex Marketing Agency. And today I want to talk to you about best practices when using dynamic creative for your Facebook ads. If you guys don't know what dynamic creative is, it's a toggle that you can switch on within your ad set. And when you do turn that on, you can give Facebook up to 10 different images or videos, up to 5 different primary text, 5 different headlines, and other features like call to action and description. You can give Facebook a bunch of different options and it'll optimize based on every single person that sees your ad. So it might choose one image with one primary text and another headline. And for the next person, it can choose a totally different image, totally different primary text, totally different headlines. I think this is really great if you're like kind of looking to scale your account or you have some creatives that you know perform really well. You want to put them all inside one campaign. Although this isn't a set it and forget it, I do find that my campaigns can run a little bit longer with less optimizations when I'm using dynamic creative because you're giving Facebook so many different permutations. However, there are some right ways and wrong ways of going about using dynamic creative, so I want to talk to you about what those best practices are. One of the main things that dynamic creative does for you is it finds the best combination of your image and copy to show to a given person. Now, while you can add up to 10 different images, you can add up to 5 different primary text, up to 5 different headlines, I find quality is better than quantity. So even though you can add up to 10, I'd recommend adding no more than 3 to like really a maximum 4 for your dynamic creative campaign. Also for your primary text and your headlines, I'd add no more than maybe 3 for primary text and 3 for your headlines. And that's just because you don't want to bombard the system with so many different options, and you also want to actually learn from that. It's also a lot less management for you if you need to create 2 to 3 headlines versus creating 5 headlines. I think it's easier for you to manage, optimize, and also doesn't bombard Facebook's system with a bunch of different options. You also want to make sure that you're providing Facebook with combinations of images and videos that would make sense if they are combined together. So Facebook does recommend that this is good if you don't know like which products match with audience, and you're not sure if you should sell your shoes or your shirts, or if you should sell your one service versus another. But you still want to make sure that if a image that you put in your dynamic creative campaign and a video you put it in your dynamic creative campaign, if these two are put together, which is one of the optimizations that Facebook could do, you want to make sure that they actually match and that they make sense when they're put together. This goes for your headline, your primary text, because if Facebook chooses image B with headline A and primary text C, you don't want to be talking about 3 different types of product or services. You want it to all make sense for that one creative that you're promoting. So all of your creatives should include shoes if you're promoting shoes. And then all of your primary text should promote shoes, and all of your headlines should talk about the shoes. Don't have your primary text talk about shoes, pants, and shirts, while your creative, your actual image or your videos is talking about your pants. I hope that makes sense. You also want to make sure that you are using this algorithm to test out different copy options. So add copy in there that are totally different from one another. One can use, let's say you're testing out one short form, one long form, and one testimonial sort of, copy or primary text. And you're adding 3 totally different options. 1, because Facebook will recognize the differences better. 2, you will be able to recognize the differences better. And then you can use those learnings to improve in the future. Did your audience respond better to a short form or to a long form copy? And was it actually like the content of it, or was it just the actual length? So by adding a bunch of different variations and making each variation like different, but yet still promoting the same thing, will provide you better learning, but also give each individual person a different option for like kind of Facebook to choose from. So if one person likes short form copy and one other person, Facebook notices that they always press the see more button, they always like to read more text, then they will show the respective copy to that person based on what they're most likely to respond to. Make sure that you're using the dynamic creative features to its fullest potential so that you can learn from it as well. I've noticed that almost almost 100% of the time, a video will outperform an image for the most part, almost for everyone's type of campaigns. We've done this for multiple different tests, and for the most part, like, video is just what we're focusing on. So if you're maybe don't have the budget to invest in a high production video, or you're not really sure how to get started, what you can first do if you just have plain images is add some movement to those images. One, because it's just so much more engaging. Even if you have like some text that appears on the screen in delay, or you have like the typing feature, or you have some emojis that are on the screen, or even if there's like a looping feature for that image, is better than just a regular plain image. And Facebook recommends this, I recommend this. Add some movement even if you just have a plain image, but also try to focus on creating really good quality videos that your audience will respond to. So your dynamic creative campaign will only work as good as your best creative. So if you're giving Facebook low quality images, or just like images that you obviously like maybe didn't really work that hard on, or that you personally wouldn't really respond to, that's not really going to help out with your campaign. If you have a regular image, improve it by adding some animations, looping it, some animated text, or even just like a slideshow video would be better than just like a regular image. Focus on your creative and make sure that it has movement and that it is engaging. It goes without saying that your hook is one of the most important parts of your video. That first 3 seconds is what you really want to get your users hooked on, captivated, and continue watching for the rest of your video, so they can then get to the call to action and actually go and make the purchase on your website if you are using the sales campaign. So video is going to be really important with using for dynamic creative, because we know it performs better, it can last longer, and you can add many more elements to a video than you can to just a regular plain image. But the most important part is that your hook is really captivating and keeps your users engaged. If you're wondering why your campaign is not performing well and you feel like you're trying all of the things to improve it, one, do take a look at your product and your product market and make sure that you do have product market fit, but also that the first 3 seconds of your video are captivating, engaging, and you would actually respond to as a user. So if you are going to be using video, again, you do want to make sure that it is optimized for people to watch with the sound off. A lot of people still are watching videos and scrolling social media with the sound off, so make sure that if you have someone talking, you're adding subtitles. If you have any sound, that it maybe doesn't include anything that's super important if people are listening with the sound off. But if they do have the sound on, then it adds to the experience. So if you have a video and it's just like fun music playing in the background, that's cool. But if someone does turn on their sound and you have absolutely no music or voiceover playing in the background, then you're not using your ad to its fullest potential. So optimize it for the sound off and make it a delight to listen to and to watch with the sound on. Make sure that your creative is optimized for each placement. While for dynamic creative, you can't customize each placement like you can in a regular campaign. So you can't go and choose just the feeds, add 1 by 1, for stories, add 9 by 16, and for the other placements, add 16 by 9. What you do want to make sure for dynamic creative is that you are optimizing for people to watch on mobile. So typically that is going to be in a vertical position, but also if your video gets cropped, like it can in a lot of placements, that it still looks great and people can fully understand your video. So my recommendation for this is either to take or record or edit your video and have it in a full 9 by 16. So like if someone's to watch it on stories, in that full 9 by 16, but have all of the content fit within 4 by 5, which would be just a little bit smaller than 9 by 16, but a little bit bigger than a square. So in that case, in no matter what position, if it gets cropped or if it's full length, it looks really great because all of the content, including faces, text, or the showcase of the product, all fits within that 4 by 5 ratio. Or alternatively, if that is maybe a little bit too difficult, or you're having issues having all of your content 9 by 16, but then kind of having everything fit within 4 by 5. In that case, you could just make a 4 by 5 video or image and have all the content fit within there. But because we know that stories is a really important placement, especially like for overall brand awareness, like people are watching stories a lot, you want to make sure that placement is optimized. So 9 by 16 would be best, and then have all of the content fit within 4 by 5 so that when dynamic creative does crop your ad, that it does still look really great and it's fully comprehensible no matter what size it's at. And of course, finally, the number one way you're going to be able to tell if your ad is performing well or not is by the increase of sales or traffic being directed to your site if you are using the sales campaign. So you want to make sure that if you are using dynamic creative, you do want to make sure that you have the Facebook pixel set up and the Facebook conversion API, so you're tracking events on both browser and server. If you don't know how to do that or what the conversion API is, go check out our other videos. We have a full-on tutorial on how to set it up. But ultimately, if you are going to be seeing what ad is working well and what is not, you want to make sure that you're actually tracking those purchases as much as you can. So make sure you have the Facebook pixel and conversion API set up if you are going to run, well, really any type of campaign, no matter what type of campaign that you're running. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did learn something new today, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I know it's a very simple gesture that you can do, but it really helps us go a long way in growing the channel and also getting this information out to more people so that more people can learn how to grow their own business on Facebook ads. So if you had any questions, let us know in the comment section below. And if not, then we will see you in the next video.